Hello and welcome again to Steve's Long Stay Vintage Radio Repair Workshop, and this is a vintage radio. I'll get back to tape recorders shortly, but this is a Bush VHF72. This is in, shall we say, a bad way. I got it from Golborne at the end when giving sets away, and it was the buttons are knackered on it, not freeing up properly. The back has a switch on it for the power, which should be the buttons here. And so what I'll do first of all, like I always do with these things, because I'm mad that way, is plug it in and see what goes bang. Probably nothing, but we never know. You could have a baseline. So this VHF72 is going to receive full mains like now. Because once we know what the position is like with it in the startup, then we know where we're working from, if anywhere. The movement basically is like nothing. Moment it looks very much like nothing at all, which is switch the other way and try again very quickly. And no valve lighting up, which means therefore that this particular radio is at the moment dead. So, well, here now actually I've taken the switch off the back there, and now it appears to be doing something more. The heaters do light, but not very brightly, I'm afraid. That might be high value resistor in the ballast chain. That's something we can easily short. But if we go look at the that's the volume control thing, and so we put it up full, like that. And so from that we know that the audio output changes are working, although obviously there's one cap that will have to be changed in this case. So I think the next thing we do with this, which I was going to do anyway, whip it out the case and see what needs to be done. I have got the manual for this, by the way. The Bush manuals are still available online, so they can get them. I'll photocopy the bits I need to show online, but for now I think it's just a case of getting it out and having a good look. All these radios work in the same basic way: rectifier, pensode, power supplies here, of course. Don't know how that's set, but sure we'll find it at some point soon. 8-put pensode, UL84. They don't generally go wrong, although I have seen it in the past. UABC80. That's something like a UF89 or something like along those lines. UC881 and UCC85. That's the valve lineup. It's a standard chassis in that way, and so it's like many others of this type. So again, start at the power supply and work your way through. And also I think things like valves things like lights need to be changed as well. So it's for my pound, I might have myself here got a reasonably good radio after some work. Now, before you pull a radio apart, have a look and see anything that does need to be done. First of all, down here, the on-off switch and wave change, it does need some work. We know that. Capacitor here needs to be changed without fail. That's the main input capacitor. Yeah. Obviously, there's the caps on the wave change circuit, but now I've got it working on long wave as well, so things aren't looking too bad.
So they're going to have to be really tread a very careful line, but of course they are used to that.
Let's talk then about the two major press conferences and speeches we had earlier today. One from the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who's in Tel Aviv,
so
and we also heard
in mind, let's get this thing apart and have a look inside. Now, with these, there's 4 screws need to come out. That one, which I'll leave until the rectifier is cooled down. This one here. These are loose, by the way, so I think this has been worked on. Well, it has actually, so we'll get that later. Okay. So underneath there's two more which need to be pulled out as well, and then of course the chassis will come out if need be, but we can take the rest out as well. But for now, I just concentrate on the chassis, because that's where most of the problems with this set happen to be. There we go. So now, if we put that over there at the wheel like that, you turn the set on its side, like so. You see there are two more screws which have to come out. Then with that one, much longer than the top one, and this one, which should be the same length as that one. So out that comes, like that. So there it goes back down correctly, like so, and we should be able to pull out the chassis. We should be able to anyway. With these sort of things, patience is the key, you know. Now also I've noticed one of the buttons has come off, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest, so get that out. There we go. And I think we'll take the top bits off as well while we're at it. So I'll just wait there and I'll be back in a moment. Now we've got this set apart, I can have a look and find out what's what. The case is off completely, it's here. Yeah, I'm going to put that aside for now because it certainly does need a lot of work doing to it, does that. So I've got my felt tips and stuff, so I can probably do a reasonable job on that. But now this thing, yeah. First of all, I noticed one of the IF cans was partly off. Don't seem to do much with the soldering, but they're slightly worrying that. I've got life out of it on medium wave and long wave, which is fair enough, you know. Look, Radio 4 comes in quite well actually on this one. But underneath here, there's 1 or 2 caps which need to be changed on site. There's one of these classes here which has to go. The orange and black ones, they have to go. on the back here there's one which is similarly interesting. I think that's probably the VHF decoder capacitor there, and the two more on here which have to go as well. I'll be on the lookout obviously for some Hunt's capacitors, and of course the capacitor, the grid cap for the UL84. So it does actually work rather better than I expected it to, actually. I have to say that. So if I was to do something like that, and you know, that for example, no, that needs some work as well, by the way. We might be able to get some life out of this. There's not a lot coming out of the Magic Eye. That's quite common on these, so don't worry too much about that, because they do die, literally die, with a capital D and a capital E. That goes up full, and let's see if we get any noise out of it now. Ah. It looks to be very much on the AM, although the valve is lit. That's long wave, I think, is it? That's medium wave.
We came out with 5 dots.
But it sounds very good actually.
The problem with that is
a long wave. He's doing a lot right now. But,
so Cordina didn't rush, he didn't panic, he went for the instant finish, so what will he feel now as we go into the 5th round? Probably ahead by 3 rounds to 1 on the judges' scorecards, Joe Cordina, but Vasquez has started this
right, okay.
and had his man up against the rope.
Volume control doesn't go down to the bottom. That could be one or two things as well. But basically the thing is actually working. Again, here's VHF. I'll just put my meter in the back so it'll, no, that's still up, isn't it, that? So doing now. Okay, not to worry. That is either that being open circuit, which may be a problem, or of course more likely the valve down here, which do light up, but they are pretty dim on this, so I'll check on that as well. Anyway, now we know where we're up to with it, what we've got to do. Let's get the manual, which is on the phone, and well, get on with it and find out what we need to change. Probably not as much as I first thought with this, actually, because it's not too bad. Oh, by the way, one button of the front is broken, this one here, but the other bit is there as well, so I can glue that and put it back in. But so obviously we need to do some work on the button assembly as well. That's to prove that the set is actually on. But to find the grid capacitor, there are one or two things you can do. Basically, it's one that goes from the anode of the trail section of in this case the UAB80 to the grid of the EL84. Now, looking round here, we know that the EABC80 is a low voltage. In this case, it's about, let's have a look at the circuit here. It's about 70 volts. Okay, so we know that one side of it is at 70 volts. So we're looking for that. Okay, so better look when that's at 0. There we are, so we can see, there you are. Right, so now we go, right, okay, so it's not there, okay. 2 volts there. 5 volts there and 2 volts there. So it's that one, okay. There should be no DC on the way leaving that capacitor, absolutely none. If there is, then the capacitor is faulty, and if when we cut it out of the circuit, there's still voltage there, they're not coming from the valve. Okay, so first thing we do is go, right, okay, you, my boy, out you come. You've been here for 60 years, you've conducted well, not conducted well, and now of course you, there you are. Okay, so now that's off there, that's off there, and that is a capacitive pressure. It's a small waxy, so okay. If I now put the set back on like that, let's see what we get there now. Let's see, because you can see there it's quite a bit higher. Well, it's coming down as the valves warm up. The other side of it, there's absolutely note. Well, 0.034 volts, I think we can live with that. But the other side of it, there is absolutely nothing. 32 volts, that's fine, that. The reason why that's fine is that the voltages on the manual for this were taken with an A08 meter, and that has a lower ohms per volt reading than digital do, so this will read a bit higher, so look out for that. Okay, and you know, something else to look out for. So now if we change that capacitor there, I don't know how much better it will sound, but that valve won't be conducting quite as heavily, and it will be better for the valve. So first thing we do is change that and try the set. When you're capacitor changing on a radio, you change one, you test it, you change one, you test it. Now at this stage I've only changed one, it's a grid cap on the 8-port valve, and as you can hear there, it doesn't make any difference to the sound from the radio, but however it does make a difference to the valve and the 8-port transformer, because they will of course need to be now ran slightly less. As that capacitor breaks down, I put 1,000 volt one on there, so it's unlikely to do so again. That will get more and more distorted. Right, anyway, VHF. Let's see what we can do. Which isn't doing anything at all. I'll just do the old meter in the back check and see if that does anything. But I must say, I doubt that it will. but we can only do our best. Seems as though it's alive, but obviously it's not, for whatever reason that may be. Now, in this situation, he said switching it off. The first thing we do is replace the UC85. I was talking to Jay about this the other day actually, and we both come up with different ideas as to why the UC85 failed. Jay says it's just a weak valve, which I'm inclined to agree with, but then again, why is the UCC not quite as bad? And I think that what happens is that the HT to this valve is not fed when VHF is not selected, and that results to some poisoning of the cathode. If that's the case, then they will fail after time. So I'll just go and get another UCC85, put it in, and we'll see what happens. There you are, it's working with the new valve in. I don't know what it is about these valves, but I'm going to take that one to Jay's and put it on his tester and have a look and see if we can find anything that does happen with these, because there's something that obviously does, because it happens a lot. Anyway, there you are. So this bit here on the corner, by the way, the bit that valve plugs into, is the VHF box, and basically, if you don't want to go in it, then don't, because it's not the best thing to do. But now, of course, we look at other things. And there you are, talking away there, you see. Anyway, so now that's doing that, like that. It's working on all bands, like that. We now think, right, well, let's improve it as much as we can. So, I think that the first thing we do here is replace all the other caps that are that probably need to be replaced. There's that one of those blue and red things which do fail. And there's this one here, which is the VHF discriminator box, and we'll see more as well. So we'll change those one at a time, and each time after we've changed it, we get the radio out and test it again. That's the way to do it, so that's the way we shall. Right, now I've changed all the various capacitors down here that need to be changed, and now
and Arsenal are creating on a more regular basis. I would say they were very incisive.
That's always sounding, it's always sounding.
As you say, he just offers a little bit more in that regard, doesn't he?
He brings a balance as well with his left foot.
We'll try VHF. This doesn't appear to be lit actually, funnily enough. Oh, okay. It's not. Seriously, that's not lit, I'm sure.
Back of his right hamstring there. Without Eddie and Ketty at Arsenal.
That's okay. Yeah, she's anyway. It's not very weak though. Also, I've noticed that doesn't seem to be a switch here for long wave. Again, why that is, I don't know. Doesn't appear to have been taken out, but it doesn't appear to be there. So I'll look at that again in the manual and check. And also the bulbs are in, but not in circuit, so something on the power supply on-off switch needs to be done as well. But I think the next thing we need to do, therefore, is switch it back to moving wave like that. That's nice.
In that position, but incredibly difficult for him against Martinelli, who's in such.
That's not okay, fine. And we'll have a quick look at where the two voltages, because that voltage on FM is not is nowhere. It does seem to be a little bit low. $147. That shouldn't stop it from working, that, but something obviously is. It could be the fact that it needs its own aerial. That's possible. But I'd rather doubt that.
By 3 goals. Still goalless between Salzburg and Inter Milan in the Scottish Premiership, the closing stages.
There you are. So it's coming along nicely, but there's something also. I'm going to change the caps on the 8-point transformer as well, and also do something with this down here, because this down here doesn't appear to do anything at all. So I'll have to have a quick look at that as well. So we know it works, but we know it's been messed with, and we need to unmess with it. That's the next thing we need to do. Let's see, the IF on AM is round about 470 megahertz, so 470 kilohertz. On FM, it's 10.7 on these. 1 and 2 the bush sets tend to use other ones, but this is 10.7, I think, and I'll check that as well, because if that's been set up wrong, that will certainly be a problem. Always power supply, which is working but not 100%. Audio, which we know is fine. IF and RF. On the AM side, it's fine. But on the FM side, it isn't. Also, 1 or 2 of the capacitors that go to deck on these tend to go leaky as well. So it could be something as simple as that. We simply don't know at this stage. Or of course, that valve might not be very happy in there. Jerry Wells at the Vintage Rice Museum, when he was alive, he used to try several until one worked seriously. There's something with those that I'm certainly going to look into in the not too distant future. So stay tuned for that. But I think it's more capacity changing, and I'll start thinking more about the FM after that. Today I went over to Jay's and we talked about the idea of poison cathodes and that on certain valves such as the E and U CC85s. So what I've done here now is that I've got a working valve from him. I'll switch on there and we'll see what happens and when. It doesn't have to take a long time to come up, this radio, and I don't know if that is a problem per se, but having said that, let's go to VHF. There we are. Let's go to VHF, right? And there should at some point soon be should be something out of it, I hope. If there's not, I'll be upset. But at the moment there don't seem to be any heaters. Like I said, they take a long time to come up. and that might be a problem as well, because of course it doesn't appear to have been modified on the power supply side here, but it's in. Aha, right.
None of it's happening yet. So
That's
I
it.
think we're already into the territory kind of thing.
So now that goes down like that. It is still just about audible on FM. Only just about. It does suggest to me that something is not doing what it should. It's there again, but again it's very, very short. Very, very, very quiet. So obviously that valve is okay. Now that's interesting as well. So one of them's okay, one isn't. So what we'll do with those two, we'll look at the two side by side and see what we think. Now then, the next thing I think we ought to look at is there's a power supply side of this which is not doing what it should for various reasons, and there seem to be here one or two parts missing as well. So yes. Anyway, let's have a look and see where it is and where it is. Now, on this set, originally, it didn't go straight to deck. It went to deck through a resistor which was across two light bulbs. The light bulbs aren't in, so now it's just a resistor. Okay, now one ohm, 0.07 ohms. So now it is now working to deck. Now, therefore, if you look inside the radio, the bulbs are here and here. I'll just adjust it so you can see. There you are. So it's they're there and they're there. Okay. Now then, there should be from these two things which go down here. Okay. One of them goes to the chassis, and one of them goes to the neutral, and one of them goes to chassis, and across them there's the resistor as well, which they don't seem to have. So let's have a look. So that's it goes to there. This one goes somewhere else to there. Okay, so they're the speaker. They're the wiring. Okay. Now, what I want to know at this stage is, has this been rewired, and if so, how, and of course why. So next thing we'll do is we'll cut that like that, yeah, and see now if there is now a link to chassis anywhere else. And there's not there. There's not there. Okay. There's not there either. But now, if I was to switch the radio on now, there probably wouldn't be anything at all on the valve heaters. And we'll check that now. All on AC at this stage, of course, so AC, sorry. Isn't doing very much either, is it? Okay, how about here? And, well, 250 there, okay, so it's this has been mucked about with. Right, okay, well, not to worry, because we can sort this out. So I'm going to find out first of all where these go, and one of these here does, of course, the circuit shows the bulbs going between the chassis and the on-off switch, and so therefore if that is 240 volts, I think we'll change that as well. Okay, I think we'll change that too, because I wonder if it's wired up the wrong way around, which is again equally possible. So I think the next thing we do is sort out this on-off switch here, and that includes getting rid of this cable. So I'll do that, and then like before, I'll come back to you. Right, new cable fitted the right way around, of course, so it's now fully legal. Now of course we've got the problem with the FM. AM fine, there's no trouble. FM, very, very, very quiet. Too quiet, in fact. I can just about hear that. I doubt whether you can. But if we look at these here, there seems to be some innards missing. Now in this case, I have to go and rug my stocks and try and find innards to go in there, and hopefully then I can set the thing up properly. And I hope that's it. I do hope that's it. I have now replaced the core in there and tightened the up as best I can, but there's an overall complete lack of volume. Also, on the UABC80, the two diodes form a demod circuit for AM, and there should be resistance across the two diodes in here, but there wasn't, because that resistor was 40. I'll put it there rather than there, because that's very close to the tuning string. I don't want to damage that, so I'll put it there. It is, however, still very, very quiet. Again, I don't know why yet, but now it's time to get the big guns out, I think, and have a look underneath and find out. You see, the switch down here has a bit missing actually in the manual as well, as far as I can tell. But if, for example, that's gone faulty, or even a cable's gone faulty, like another job recently, then it will do this. So it's time now to go back in time and have a look and find out what is going on. It might even be the valve actually. I might even go and get one tomorrow and see what happens. But no, that's it for tonight. So we have to look for the low volume on FM and find out why it's not doing what it should. And for that reason, I do need to look at certain things. First of all, I put a new UABC80 in, no change. That was expected actually. Now, going into the volume control, using the meter as a probe, was it usually works. There it is. I'm coming out. Again. There it is. That doesn't seem to be strong actually. Okay, but if I put that onto there like that and do the same thing, it drops off to virtually nothing, as you can hear there. So obviously there's something there. Okay, so therefore we assume that's okay, and so we'll go further back down the line here, and with it off for a minute like that. Put the meter on the ohms range like that, not the diode range, because of course there shouldn't be anything here. So now here to the capacitor, nothing. Okay, now here to here, 24k. Okay, fair enough. That's again, that's fair enough, because the next thing it goes to after is of course the 24k resistor, which comes up after the switch, and of course from there it goes to R13, which is 22k. Now find that and look on either side of it, because on each side of that resistor the capacitor, which might have gone short circuit, and if it has, that might well be the problem. At least I hope that's the problem. I hope that's the problem. So I need to find out where capacitor resistor 13 is in the circuit, and take it from there, as the saying goes. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, so switch 1D is obviously this one here, yeah? But I'll check and make sure on that as well, and make sure that switch is okay. Now, on switch to FM, like that, yeah. Now on diode track, like that, it should go okay. No, not that end, silly me. That's okay, so it goes to there, okay, fine. This goes to, that goes to switched off, yeah, goes to there, this goes down here, to there, okay. And that too is okay to there. Now to chassis, it will be 24k, which is alright, I suppose. So now it should be 20, should be 20. That says nothing, okay. One range up, and it's 24k, and 24k there as well. And so the fault is under the chassis, get the tuning down probably. Oh, life is such fun, isn't it? We also know from that, by the way, that one of the two capacitors is okay, C34, but the other one, C33, well, it might not be. The output of the coil goes to the valve. With it dead, there shouldn't be anything else in this circuit because it's dead. So therefore, it's either that's gone, or possibly that C33 or R12 on the circuit. I'll get this diagram printed off for you so the printer decides to work. But I'll go and have a look at those two and check them as well, because that it might justify the problem. As you can hear there, it is in fact okay on volume now, but the distortion is quite something. Now, that distortion does not occur, and nor does the hum on AM. This is obviously coming from the FM side. And what I've done here, underneath the chassis, behind all this, which I didn't want to take off, the 22k resistor, 2 capacitors to deck, and of course then of course it links to the this can here, you see. So what I've done is I've put a resistor in here outside the chassis. So I think the next thing we do is put the 2 capacitors in and see if it frees up the hum. We are at this stage purely on audio equipment, on audio. So, but this section here, it takes the audio from the FMD modulator to the switch, which is switching it between FM and AM. Okay, so this section is audio on FM only. Now that means therefore that this section, if it produces hum on FM only, well, it does. So I will try putting the original valve back in first and see if that cures it. Okay, if it does, well, hey. If it doesn't, well, yeah. So so in goes the original Mullard valve. If I can get it right, like that. Then in goes the original Mullard valve, like that. And we'll power it up again and see if it still generates the hum. If it does, then well, that will go back into its box and be used again elsewhere. But if it's not causing the problem, if it is, well, it is. Sounds like it is. Right, okay. A bit better. We'll try and get rid of that hum somehow, shall we? Because that's the next thing we have to deal with. As you can hear there, that does improve it, but not entirely. I'll do that properly and put another capacitor on the other side, that resistor as well, like in the manual, and see what that does. Then of course I'll try an alignment, because this has been mucked about with. Also another thing which I can try, if I can find one, is shielding this valve here, which does often need to be shielded in these sets. So I'll find a shield for it, and maybe that'll help as well. There are no mystery buzzers on medium wave, or long wave, or FM. They weren't on medium wave or long wave before, but on FM now. This capacitor here only comes into play when the and the unit is switched to FM. So I've changed it, and lo and behold, that has gone. Now, from there, just blow that air in a minute, we know it works. I'm going to very quickly have a look and see if we do anything with this magic eye here, which is a UM80. Okay, so I know that heat on it works, because otherwise the rest of it wouldn't work. So and so now if we go into there like that, and 25 volts on the other side, 20. Okay, well, what does it do when we switch it to AM? I wonder. Well, it plays first of all, but now look at it, and this is now 139.6 volts, so it's doing it on the wall. So that's okay. So therefore, as with all these, the problem is that resistor there. Yeah, I had a point with something. This resistor here, which of course did that because it's hot AC on it, and that particular resistor, it goes high, which I think that one has done. So whip it off like that, and see if it does, shall we? So the diagram, it says that resistor is 470k. Okay, I will get the diagram for you sometime, I promise, but I've got problems with the printer at the moment. Mind you, who hasn't with printers anyway? So now that goes to there, and that's about right. That's okay. So probably it's the valve. Now, I'm not going to get too bothered about that. But the next thing we must do here, therefore, is change any capacitors that need to be changed, because I can see two from here actually, and of course there's the button assembly to sort out as well, which should be fun as well. I've changed all the ones that need to be changed on the input transformer, the ones that handle AT, and also the one that feeds the signal back for the AT, for the AGC, I think it is. So there we are. So now I think it's time to look at realigning this, and this should be fun. This should be real fun, in a real fun way.
It's dedicated, the second sextet is dedicated.
Now, as regards aligning VHF FM sets, there are various ways. The quickest way, which is what I've done here because I was feeling lazy basically, is
the Johnstone after that gate, which is rather nice
tune it to
you're playing is polished.
A good station,
we hope so.
like Radio 3 here.
I mean, you're all studying together. I think Raphael did.
You just the first IF can, you just purely for maximum strength, yeah. The second IF can, it's the third in some bush sets where the second IF, but generally speaking, the last IF can before the EA or UABC 80. The primary, again, you adjust for maximum gain, and the secondary, you adjust for minimum distortion.
With each other with second violin and Simon.
You can of course put two resistors across the output capacitor here, and use a meter but generally speaking, generally I find that
We started the quartet and the festival at the same time.
That is the way to do it. So yeah. Also, again, if a manual has a certain way, then if it and you know, it's worth taking that in manual or doing it that way if you've got various kits and things to do it, which I have here, but I feel lazy basically. So next thing.
Checking. Well, Brahms, you're going to play
volume
first.
tone control.
Who's obviously still.
As you can hear there.
Now also the quartet.
Doing,
Actually, we just recorded
interesting things to
that are going to be released for our first album.
Now the volume and tone controls on any radio of this type will always have had a rough life. It goes without saying. Now in most cases all you need to do, and it's the thing we'll do here actually. First of all, you give it a spray with the magic spray here. You know, the magic spray, and then see if that cures it. If it doesn't, these dual pots are a bit tricky to get hold of, so you know, you just get it as good as you can. You usually can do something with this stuff, so that's the thing we must do next, of course, is that. When I've got the stick off the side of the can here. And that's the next thing, of course, to getting this off the side like that. Putting this in there like that. In the end. Then of course spray the set in certain areas. Now there are various ways to do it. First thing I do is spray it in there, and of course on the front here, and some will trickle into the unit in question, which is then of course a matter of working it about like this. Yeah, you can if you want take it out, but well, engineers of my type tend to be very lazy. So maybe we'll put it back in, and we'll see if it see if that helps it work a little better. Come on, wake up again. Wakey wakey, rise and shine. Okay, fine. And the inner. Again, varies a lot more like it should. Now at this point, I think it's fair enough to say that I've done the electrical side of it pretty well. There's not a lot else to do with it now. So now I shall look at the wave change switch here. In the same sort of a way, like that. There we are. And now let's see if it'll switches okay between FM and AM now. So it should do at any rate. So again, it's on. That's better now. Simple as that.
Boss and Rod, nobody better, there's nobody better than.
That's medium wave, long wave. Didn't do very much, but not to worry. And of course FM has to have a wire in the back, of course, so it shall have that. And that's radio 3, which is because it's good to work on, and it's also a lot easier on the eardrums, believe you me. So now, this working okay now. We've got to sort out the mechanics of the situation. So yeah, first of all, the button here, I'll find that. Part of it's here, and glue it together and leave it overnight. And of course, we've also got to look at this thing, which is a rather badly battered case. So I need to see what we can do here, if anything. There's always something you can do, by the way. So we'll get onto that sort of like now. Here's the cabinet all nicely, well, as nice as possible done up. When you're doing a job like this, first thing you do is give the thing a bloody good clean. And if, like me, you don't want to sand the thing down and start again from scratch, what you do, give it some of this stuff, two or three layers, polish them off, and then you should surprised actually how many of the scratches will shrink back, but never completely. Now at this point in the proceedings, got the wood, and you've got some of these. These are wood fading felt tip pens used by furniture polishers and that, and very handy they are too. So with the one that's nearest to the wood in question, go over and you can make most of these simply disappear. I prefer not to take them all out because, of course, well, it's not meant to be looking brand new after 70 years. So I do this to it. Now, with that done, and we'll leave that to dry, and now, of course, we'll get the button and we'll put the button glued together and put on overnight, and then we'll put this one back together again, try it again, and this VHF72, which came to me in a right state, will be back in service, and for £1 plus a valve which J-Ray kind of lent me, and things which I already had, including some of the radios, we can now put this radio back into service somewhere. Another fault that this set came in with was the damaged button off the buttons at the front here, off this wave change switch. Now all the pieces were here, and so what I've done is I've arrow died it together. Now, so if you can see that, there you are. And so I'm now going to leave that to dry, and then this whole lot will be put back together again. Got to do something else. That's FM, obviously. The button's on. There we are, working away. Now of course we've got to do a job which is interesting, because a radio apart and a radio together are two different things. So now I want to put all this back in the case. The case is here behind me, looking well better than it was. So I'll put it back together stage by stage, and then hopefully we'll try it again. And hopefully this radio, once again, a working healthy radio. And here it is, a working radio once again, a Bush VHF72. It's been a bit of a struggle of this one, and many people might say it wasn't worth doing, but I'm not many people. This had a cabinet which I've cleaned as much as I can, with the pens and stuff. Inside, for £1 initially, it took a UCC85, which they very kindly supplied. I got two to dig up to him actually. Res capacitors, and also a resistor or two as well. This is one of those sets where you start working on it, and each fault, when fixed, shows up another fault. It's happened. You keep going with it, and remember, your fault finding comes first at all times. At all times. No capacity change in here, just apart from certain ones which we do have to be changed. Then of course we fault find, and when that happens, you get this.
Do the last. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that's where it's a little bit different.
Don't get anything on long maybe, but
It's just, well, I've got to capture my hometown club.
there it is on medium wave.
Don't really have.
There it is on FM, on its own aerial, which is actually quite sensitive.
2023, and everyone kind of mentions that.
That's radio
We are in a modern society now.
Times, innit? Sleeps, man. Still got you in the studio with me.
I don't know what this
just
is.
Touch base quickly about some stuff
GMR,
that
I think.
you know going on. Hamdi just said you're making.
This end here, Radio 1.
Clapton look out for him on tour, by the way, next year, around about May time, including his...
Smooth,
Reckoned. So this holiday season, mix with the best, with Fever Tree cocktails.
Cosmic FM at the top there.
Please enjoy responsibly.
Thank you, we will. Right, but anyway, that's it.
Mobile, the freshest phones.
So now working radio again.
Get the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra.
And it took some time to do it, but it's here. It's working again.
With club card
I
prices.
do not cover as much as I can, so it's one again is ready to go back to the service somewhere. And it'll last for 10 to 20 years, this I reckon.
Mobile.
You see,
Tesco Mobile. Every
with these, one thing that I do remember is that is something like 70 years old now. It's amazing, but it's true. I mean, 30s, 40s, 50s. This is 57 vintage, or 57, 97 is 50. I mean, it is about 70 years old and it's still going strong. They're only made to run for like 5, 15, 20 years in the first place. So the fact that it's working now said a lot about standard of the construction of sets like this, which is important. It really is. So, until next time, Steve Pedalbury's Longstay Vintage Radio Workshop. Goodbye, and take care, and remember, don't change capacity for the sake of it. Fault find. It's simple components as well, you know.
Smokehouse, available until the